welcome back to the Digital Marketing channel, and today we're going to talk about Facebook ads optimization as a part of the social media marketing specialist playlist that we have been starting. Anyways, I hope that all of you are staying safe inside your homes during this corona period, and we need to utilize this time to improve upon your career, and I hope this video is helpful. Anyways, let's jump right in. So Facebook ads optimization, what does it mean? So basically we run Facebook ads and we have to optimize it, and what I mean by that is getting more returns for the amount of money that we pay, better return on investments, right? So basically it majorly involves monitoring the metrics so that you can iterate the targeting and all the other aspects of your Facebook ads. So let's first begin with monitoring metrics. What are the metrics that are necessary for you to monitor? Number one, frequency. Frequency is the number of times that you show your ads to your target customer. So here's a rule of 5. If you generally cross the frequency of 5, your ads are gonna get bad cost per clicks and bad click-through rates, and when someone sees your ads for more than 5 times, they're gonna hate it. They're gonna hate your brand. So make sure your frequency is less than 5. Even 3 is good enough number for me if you ask me, right? So there are 2 ways in which you can tackle this. Number one, you can use different creatives to target the same customer, to even promote the same offer. You use different creatives so that it doesn't look so spammy. There is a feature called as daily unique views, using which you can reach unique customers, so the frequency will not go above the necessary numbers. Number 2, return on investments. Here's a mistake that most marketers do. You don't set up Facebook pixels to actually get the return on investment data, right? So first set up Facebook pixels and get the return of investment data, and installing Facebook pixel is also going to be really handy in creating custom audiences, and which will further lead to lookalike audiences, which we'll cover later in this video. Anyways, first you need to know what the return on investment is. Number 2, if the return on investment is really bad and the company is going on a loss, there are certain things that you need to change. For example, the offer, maybe the offer is not irresistible enough for people to go and buy. And number 2 is targeting. Maybe you're targeting the wrong customers, or the customers that you are targeting is not, doesn't like the offer that you're promoting. So make sure you iterate and change so that the return on investment is good. Number 3 is Relevance Score. This basically says how relevant your ads are to the targeted audience. So if your relevance score is really bad, I've seen a lot of people target entire cities without any interest targeting or behavior targeting or lifestyle or nothing. They just, like, if you want to target entire country, they do that without any targeting, and the relevance score is going to be bad, and the return on investment is going to be bad as well. So you cannot afford to do it. As a social media marketer, it's extremely important that you make sure that all the metrics are right so that the return on investment for your clients are pretty good. The next metric that you need to look into is cost per acquisition. It is the amount of money that you spend to acquire a desired action. It could be lead generation, it could be sales, it could be even going to the cart page is a good action, because you can again retarget the abandoned cart customers. So cost per acquisition, first you need to set up a goal for it. What does acquisition mean for you and your brand? And number 2 is you have to calculate the cost per acquisition, which again you can get to setting up events using Facebook pixel. The next thing is click-through rate. So why should we monitor the click-through rate? There are 2 reasons. Number 1, maybe the creative or the video or the ad copy that you're using is not compelling enough. And number 2 is maybe your offer is not good enough. Maybe your targeting is not good enough. So there are a lot of reasons for bad click-through rates. So make sure your creative is good enough for your audience to click through. And the last thing that I want to say about monitoring metrics is there are lots and lots of reports available in Facebook itself. So these reports can be sent to your clients, but what as a marketer we can do is look into these reports and learn a lot from it. Like sometimes you get to know that the ad placements are better in certain areas, so you can target them. Maybe some gender or some age groups or some interest targeting or some behavior. These people engage more with your ads. So what you can do is you can create a separate ad copy or even a separate campaign targeting those people who engage better with your ads, so that you can actually, this is called as optimization, right? Making your ads better. So here are some targeting optimization tips that I'm going to give you right now. Number 1, behavior targeting strategy. You cannot understand how powerful this data is. You sitting at your own get to target people based on their previous behavior on Facebook and on the website. So how incredibly powerful it is, let me give you an example. You can target people with high purchasing behavior, or you can target people who play these certain games, or you can target people who are more prone to doing some action that you want them to do. So you can target them. When you target them, you're going to get way more results than generally targeting, general interest targeting. So behavior targeting is extremely important. Number 2, and I cannot stress this enough, live events targeting is a game changer. Let's say you are a jewelry shop and you want to target someone who got engaged. Now live events targeting does just that. When someone is engaged, you can target them specifically. You even have time frames like 1 year anniversaries, 2 year anniversaries, and people during these anniversaries buy a lot of jewelry to make their spouse happy. Imagine how specific that targeting would be, and imagine how well they will respond to those ads. Here are some other examples. You can target people on their birthdays. You can target the friends of people who are going through a specific life event. Like you can target the friends of people who just got engaged. You can target the friends of people who are going to get married, who are going to have a birthday. Imagine how incredibly powerful this would be, right? And a lot of people don't do it, and that is what is wrong. So subscribe down below if you find this content really helpful. The next thing that I want to talk about is auxiliary audience. You are a digital marketer, and you are creating some sort of course to target other people in digital marketing. But the thing is, here's the thing, I am interested in digital marketing, but I have not specified anywhere in my Facebook profile that I'm interested in digital marketing. So when you use interest targeting to sell your course to me, you're not able to find me. So here's that problem. So how can you find such people who are not explicit about their interest on Facebook? Auxiliary audience. What you can do is go to the Facebook audience research place, and you can click and you can type in digital marketing, and you can see all the other interests that correlates to people who are in digital marketing. For example, sales and advertising jobs could be a good place to start, because a lot of digital marketers go under sales and advertisement jobs, and when you target them, you might not be really very specific, because sales and marketing jobs could be a lot of jobs, but then still there are a lot of digital marketers in that field. So the return of investment might not be really strong in this, but then you also get to target people who are out of reach in interest targeting. So this is what auxiliary audience is used for. If the next and the most important point is custom audience. If you're not using custom audience, you're already failing. What custom audience allows you to do is you get to create an audience segment based on your website visitors' behavior on your page. You can target abandoned cart users, you can target general website visitors, you can target converted people, you can exclude converted people, you can target people who interacted with your Instagram page, who viewed your videos to a certain extent. You also have a lot of options, like you can target people who viewed your video just for 2 seconds, and you can target people who viewed your video for 30 seconds or 30 minutes. This is basically done so that you can target people from different stages in your buyer's profile. This is done so that you can target people who are in the different stages of a buyer's journey, and this can be incredibly powerful. And without custom audience, I don't think Facebook ads is any effective, because buyer's journey is an extremely important one. You cannot send sales ads copy to a cold audience. You have to first bring them into your funnel. You have to provide them value before giving them the sales pitch. So custom audience can be really useful when doing that, and I'll give you a lot of strategies in the next video, in which I'm completely gonna focus on Facebook strategies, and custom audience is going to be an extremely important part of it. So wait till that, subscribe down below if you haven't, so that you can get the next thing, which is a bit intelligent if you ask me. Is called as layered targeting. So layered targeting is basically, I'll give you an example so you'll understand. Let's say you have a service-based company, and what you do is generally you get your audience profile and you target people, and maybe you'll iterate with the small things that I talked to you about, using auxiliary audiences and custom audiences. All that is fine, but what layered targeting asks you to do is break your buyer's persona into a lot of segments. Let's say you create a specific offer for people over the age of 60, and you exclusively create an offer for people in that audience segment, 60 plus, and interested in your service. So if you give them an offer, there is more chance of them converting, because you're talking directly to them. So basically, break your audience into segments and then give them specific offers for those segments, so that the chances of them clicking through will be high. The interest rate will be high. Now there are other parameters that you can optimize, like I told you before, in how you should look at your reports and optimize it. These are certain parameters that I want to tell you to optimize. Number one, ad schedule. A lot of people just schedule the ad for the next 10 days or 12 days or even a month, but what you can do is look at the ad schedule and look at the timings in which the engagement has been high, the clicks have been high, and the conversions have been high, and just specifically target specifically run your ads during those times so you'll have a better engagement. The next thing is optimization for placements. I'll throw in a fact right now which is going to completely shock you. Cost per click is 550% dependent on your placements. As usual, like I told you, in your ads manager dashboard, you go through the reports and see which placement has been working well and use those placements so that you can have better optimization. And this is also recommended that you create separate ads for your desktop and your mobile, because there are certain parameters that's going to be different in those two. In desktop ads, the headlines are the most important one, and so you have to craft your headlines in such a way that it's going to be really clickable. And if you have doubts in that, you can look at my previous video in which I have been talking about copywriting, and there is something called as 4U rule, which is specifically designed to make your headlines amazing. Whereas in mobile newsfeed, the main ad text is the most important part. So you have to make sure the ad text is the most important thing. So now you understand why you need to create separate ads for your desktop and your mobile, right? You have to create separate ads for your desktop newsfeed and the right columns. This also because of the change in the amount of characters that is allowed in normal desktop feed. And in the right column, if you see, there is a lot of words that are being cut out, and this is not going to be effective at all. You can save a lot of money by not running the general newsfeed ads on the right column ads. These are just, I'm throwing in a few tips so that you can optimize so that you don't have to waste a lot of money. Right? I now want to talk to you about something called as ad fatigue. So if the frequency goes over 4 or 5, all the other parameters like cost per acquisition, cost per click, click-through rates, all of those goes against you, and you will waste a lot of money. So I recommend that you change your ads quite often, or run one type of ad on one day and use another creative for another day, so that you won't have to go through ad. Also, there is something called as rules which you can use to auto optimize if you don't have enough time to optimize your ads. What rules does is, I'll give you an example. We were talking about frequency, right? So you can create a rule in such a way that if the frequency goes above 4 or above 5, you can turn off the ads automatically. Turn off those ad copy automatically. So what it does is you can save money. There are a lot of ways in which you can use rules, and you can just go through the Facebook Ads Manager to actually experiment with it. Here's the last tip that I want to give you before I end this video. That is, exclude your converted audience from the already existing ads. Let's say you run an ad to a lot of people, and let's say a huge amount of those people get converted into your customer. And now what you have to do is get their details, email addresses, and put them in the exclusion list for the same ad, because if an ad runs really well, you are going to use it for a very long time, and running it to the same audience is going to waste you a lot of money. So yeah, so that is it, guys. I hope you like this content and share it to people who might find this really helpful, and please do subscribe. There's a lot more interesting content that I'm going to create, and if you have some content requests, do let me know. And thank you, guys, and I hope you are staying really safe during the corona period. We'll fight this together. Anyways, thank you, guys. Have a nice